What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a book haul. This is my first book haul of the year. If you guys remember, not too long ago in my come shopping with me video, I said that I was really proud of myself because I hadn't bought a ton of books since I think like November. Well, all of that went kind of downhill after that because I have about 15 books to talk to you guys about today. I did place a book outlet order because they were having one of those sales. They have a sale pretty often on there, so I just placed an order there. And then after that, we are back into the office for my job, and there's a bookstore like right next to my office, so it's just like picking one or two books once in a while. Well, I've accumulated all of these books that I want to talk to you guys about today. Before we get started, if you guys are new here, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It would make my day. And without further ado, let's get into my book haul. So I guess I'll start with my book outlet haul. I have 5 books that I bought over there. So the first one that I have is going to be Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. This is a book that I kind of pick up on a whim on there because I have been watching a ton of Elliot Brooks videos lately, and she's a really big fan of Mary Lou. I did read Legend a really long time ago and I really like that book. I never continue on with that series. I really should one day, but Mary Lou is kind of always been one of those authors that I want to read more of, and so when I saw this book on there, I thought of picking that book up. I think this is sci-fi as well, which is a genre that I do want to get more into, so I thought it would be perfect. I don't really know exactly what this book is about. In the back it says, "My name is Talon. I am a striker for Mara, the last free nation on this side of the sea. We are legendary bringers of death, assassins of monsters, and the only thing standing between our home and annihilation." It sounds really good. I've heard some really good things about this. I think it's a duology about from Mary Lou, so I'm excited to pick this one up. And the cover is gorgeous. If you guys like the book itself, the naked book itself is so pretty. It's kind of one of the reasons why I picked this book up. So I'm really excited about this one. If you heard anything about any of these books, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know as well. It might help me pick up my next read. The next one that I picked up on Book Outlet is Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jeans. I'm so excited for this one. I've heard some pretty good things about this. This is a Reads Witherspoon's YA book club, which doesn't really mean anything to me, to be quite honest. From the synopsis, it's giving me Princess Diary vibes, which I love that movie. I watched it not too long ago and it was so good, so I'm really excited about this. So this is about this Japanese American girl who lives in California. She's raised by her single mom, but then one day she discovers that her dad is a Japanese prince, and so she's a princess basically. So she goes back to Japan to meet her family and to discover that country. It sounds so good and I'm really excited to pick this one up. I know this book kind of got a lot of buzz when it first came out. Ever since, not so much, but I did hear some pretty good things about this one, so I'm excited to pick this one up. Next from Book Outlet is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. I bought this one before I knew I was going to participate in the Koreadathon readathon, but it worked out perfectly because I read this one for that readathon because Mary H.K. Choi is Korean, and this is about a girl named Penny who moves for college into this new town. She doesn't really know anyone. Over there she meets this guy named Sam, and they kind of become each other's emergency contact, and they form a relationship like that, a texting relationship. And honestly, spoiler alert, I didn't really care for that one. It was good. It wasn't my favorite. I had read Permanent Record from that author, which I enjoyed a little bit more, but that's why I originally wanted to pick this book up, because I liked Permanent Record, so I wanted to see what this one was all about. I do think I'm in the minority for that one. Most people do really enjoy that one, so if you are interested in it, I would still pick this one up. So so that's it for this book. The next book that I got from Book Outlet is Some Kind of Happiness by Claire Legrand. I got this one. This is originally why I placed my order on Book Outlet, because a few of us here on BookTube kind of formed this mini book club where we were planning on reading this book for, I think, February, but it didn't really work out. But I still really want to read this one. It sounds really cute. This is a middle grade book. It's about this girl named Finley. To escape from reality, she invented this magical forest that only exists in the page of her notebook. But when she arrives to her grandparents, she realizes that this forest is actually a real one and it's in trouble, and so she tries to save it. Basically, it sounds super magical and whimsical. It's a middle grade book. I love middle grades, so I am really excited to pick this one up. I think it's going to be a super short, fast read, and so I'm really excited. And then the last book that I picked up from Book Outlet is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. This one, I'm going to be honest, I think I wanted to get free shipping, so I added this book last minute. I've read all of the Bridgerton series, and this one is my favorite one, so I kind of wanted a hardcover of it. I own all of these series in the mass market paperback, and now I kind of want to own all of them in this print, which I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't need 2 editions of those books, but since this is my favorite of that series, I thought I would buy this book. I do want to reread this book one day, so I'm just really excited to have a hardcover of it. This is the 4th book in the Bridgerton series, where we follow Colin and Penelope's storyline, and I mean, I have a few videos where I talk about the Bridgerton series, so I won't go in depth in this video, but this is a historical romance series, which is amazing. I love it. Go check it out. There's a Netflix series. Season 2 is coming out pretty soon, so check this series out if you are interested in it. So that was it for my Book Outlet haul. Now I have, like I said, a few books that I bought here and there because we are back in the office and there's a bookstore right near my office. No particular order. I'll go with the first one that I have, and it is It Ended With Us by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is one of those authors that I've read a long time ago, and I really enjoyed her book. I read Maybe Someday, Ugly Love, November 9th. I think I've read a few others of her books, but this one came out a long time ago, like 2016, 15? 2016. It came out a while ago, and it's still in the top bestseller list, like everywhere. This is getting so much hype. I think it's because of TikTok, but still. But I never really was interested in this one. I don't know why. Maybe it's the cover. Even though the cover is pretty, I never was drawn to this book. But I saw it and I think it was on sale, so I thought, why not? I should try this one. It's everyone's favorite book from Colleen Hoover. Everyone says it's super emotional, super like heart-wrenching book. It's about this girl named Lily who is in a relationship with this guy named Weil, and everything is going like too perfect to believe. Like everything is going perfectly, kind of too good to be true. And then her ex-boyfriend, like first loves, come back into town or come back into her life, and it's that story. I'm really interested in reading it because, like I said, it's everywhere right now, and this book came out a long time ago, and everyone who read this book said it was really good. So I'm having a hard time finding a bad review of this book, so I'm excited to pick it up soon. And I did really like the other books of Colleen Hoover that I had read in the past. I think the sequel just came out too, so that's also why I wanted to pick up the first book. So the next 3 books that I have is kind of a late night shopping. I lost my mind and I don't know why I picked these one up, but I bought the whole David series. So the first one is City of Brass, the second one is, I think the second one is The Kingdom of Copper, and then the third one is Empire of Gold, I'm pretty sure, but clearly I have not read these, and I just, like I said, late night shopping at like middle of the night, I picked up the whole series from Book Depository because I wanted the UK cover, and also there was some talk that Ian Out of This World Reader was going to pick this one as his next series read along, so I just picked the whole series up because I've been wanting to read it for a while. Even if he doesn't pick this series for his next read along, I do want to read this one pretty soon. I've heard so many good things about this series. From what I understand, this is about a girl who summons this djinn, I think, and he tells her that she might be from this like other city, magical city or something, but while she summons the jinn, she also summons some other magical creatures, and she might be in danger. I might be completely wrong here. I think it's what it's about, but like I said, I've heard some amazing things about this series. I really want to pick this series up, so I really hope I enjoyed this series because I picked the whole series up. I'm just gonna put the first one up. The next two books that I bought were for the readathon that I participated in. The first one is Winter as Sock Show by Elisa Schwadusapin. I'm really sorry. This was the group book for that readathon. I picked it up in French because this was originally published in French because the author is French, and this is about this girl who lives in this small tourist city or village, I should say, named Sock Show. And one day there's this guy that comes in, and he's this writer, and they kind of form this relationship, I guess. I've read this already and I really enjoyed this one. It was really good, and actually I wanted to buy it as an ebook in the beginning, but the physical copy was cheaper, so that's why I bought it physically. But it was really good. I really enjoyed this one. If you guys are interested in it, I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, but yeah, that was a buy because of that readathon. And then the next book that I got for that readathon is Grass. This is a graphic novel, and I got this one because a lot of people were reading it for that for that readathon. And this is about these girls that are called comfort women during the Japanese war. And they're basically Japanese military sexual slave, and it's about that. It's very emotional from what I hear. I haven't read this one yet, but I have to because there's only a few days left to the readathon. But it's, like I said, it's a graphic novel. It sounds pretty good. People say it's really emotional, and a lot of people were reading this one for the readathon, so I thought I would buy it. Another late night purchase that I probably should not have done, but hey, it's here, and it is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. I have not read the first one, but I was on Instagram late night, I don't remember when, but everyone was talking about this book and everyone was saying how good this book was, so it got me really excited to read the first one. And since it was a new release, and new release are normally cheaper release week, I picked it up. I do have the first book on my shelf. I've been wanting to read it for a while now. The next one that I have is For the Wolf by Hannah Winton. This is an adult fantasy that I think came out last year, and I've heard some pretty good things about this. About this one, it's a Red Riding Hood retelling, if you couldn't tell by the cover. It's about this world where every second daughter are sacrificed to the wolf, but there might be more than meets the eye, because it says But the legends lie. The wolf is a man, not a monster. Her magic is a calling, not a curse. I've heard some pretty good things about this one, so I wanted to pick it up. I think this is a standalone, so I'm always in the search for good fantasy standalone, so I picked this one up. The next book that I want to talk to you guys about is going to be This Woven Kingdom by I can never say her name, Tahara Mafi. I bought this one once again because this was a new release, and new release are cheaper the first week, so I wanted to pick it up, and it's a signed edition. She is the author of the Shatter Me series, which I read a long time ago. I need to reread that series because apparently I never read the last one, and there's this whole like second series that I never read, so I need to reread that series. But this is her newest book. I don't really know what this one is about. It's about this girl who has to hide her identity because she's the long lost heir to an ancient kingdom, but then one day she makes a mistake and they discover who she is. That's what the story is all about. I'm really excited about this one because, like I said, I really like the Shatter Me series. I've never read anything else from that author, so I'm excited to read this one. And so my last two books that I have to talk to you guys about are from my Fairyloot subscription box. The first one was the January thing, I think, and it is Only a Monster Can Kill a Hero by Vanessa Len. When I first unboxed this one, I hadn't heard anything about this one, but ever since, I did hear some pretty good things about this one. This is another standalone fantasy book, which I'm always in the hunt for. The cover is gorgeous, like Fairyloot always outdo themselves. And look at the this makes me really excited for the book, really. This is the like character print, and it's basically about this girl who discovers that her family are basically monsters, and the cute boy isn't just a cute boy, he's a monster slayer. Sounds really good. I've heard some pretty good things ever since I've unboxed this one, so I'm really excited. And then the last book that I have for this haul is this one, Daughter of Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. This copy is gorgeous. Fairyloot did like an amazing job for this book. It's so freaking pretty. I was so excited when I realized this was the book in their box. It really intrigued me and I really wanted to read it. I don't really know too much about this book, but it sounds really good. It's like a retelling. It's a fairy tale retelling, I'm pretty sure, which I love, and I cannot wait to read it. And this copy is making me really want to read it. And I'm currently reading Six Crimson Crane, which I feel might be like similar in vibe, and I'm loving Six Crimson Crane, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. So that's it, guys. Those were all of the books that I bought recently. I am officially back on a book buying ban. Honestly, I'm officially back on an everything buying ban for a few months. I really need to read these books. Have you read any of them? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know what your thoughts on them and which one I should read first. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
I can't believe that you came into my life. You made me feel again. Now it's my turn.